Bring in the Honorable Minister of Works.
And also person on the construction of most city staff. We will accept that before after they are moved to the
Thank you very much.
My colleagues, honorable ministers, SH, Mr. President, the Prime Secretaries, senior government officials, and the men and women of the press. The question that was asked on road infrastructure was plans in reversing the state of the roads. What efforts are being made to ensure the roads are motorable? I agree with you that we inherited a lot of challenges as far as our roads are concerned. I admit that the roads are not what they're supposed to be. But before now, we had a lot of challenges which we are tackling. We had poor design of our roads in the past, poor supervision, and a poor construction. We inherited a lot of inflation and high cost of building materials in our road development. We don't fail to say that we have some of the contractors that are playing games over the years, not serious in doing the jobs they were paid to do. Because we have compensation problem, we have terrain problem, we have insecurity. And we noticed that we had a number of contractors with so many jobs, but no equipment and no technical people. And of course, lack of maintenance of our roads. So what have we done? We have improved on design. I don't know whether anybody knows any federal highway that after being constructed that has lasted for 10 years. It's because of lack of professional ethics in the development of our roads. You don't use asphalt when you have high water table to construct our roads. For example, you look at the East-West Road. The East-West Road from the beginning to the end has a very high water table. And so as you're constructing with asphalt, the road is failing. We are addressing the design of our roads based on the subsoil and the water table. And the funding is also a challenge. But in the ingenuity of Mr. President, he has introduced new infrastructure funding, where a number of projects are migrated into this funding program, like the PIPF. We will come to that, and some of the roads that are within the nation economic corridors. We have the HDMI program, where we allow the private sector to participate. And so far, we have engaged with the private sectors in over 63 roads. And the idea is for them to bring in funds, construct these roads, work with the Infrastructure and Concession Commission and the Ministry of Works to tow these roads. We have started with the Kefi Makodi road that is completed. But we have not rolled out because we don't want anybody to pay with cash. So we're working with the Federal Ministry of Finance on how we can have paperless tolling system over there. We also have a system whereby we have what we are injecting the renewable infrastructure architecture on our roads. And for example, in Topmela Bridge, after we finished the rehabilitation, we have built what we call the observation room by the seashore there. And we put solar lights to ensure that we have light constantly that is not dependent on the generator or diesel. And we have also injected CCTV there. And so we have a house we have built where we will have the army, the police, the navy, and of course Lasama and Lagos. And the idea is that anything happening on that bridge within 10 minutes, that they should be able to get to that point. And so we have vehicles we have purchased and then we have put. That is what we want to inject in all our roads. For example, we are completing the Lagos Ibadan. We are working on Makurdi to 9th Mile. We are working on Abuja to Kano. And so these roads are going to be tolled. But we are not just tolling them, we are bringing confidence in the use of these roads. The people can travel at night because we are bringing security, where the response time will be 10 minutes along the entire corridor, where you have solar lights permanently there, and then reduces travel time, and through the tolling the roads are maintained. Then it means that there will be confidence, because Nigerians will pay if the roads are good. But let me say this, before now, the roads development was never handled as an investment, and it was never handled professionally, where professional ethics would be injected into the road development. I've seen a situation in which in our road development contractors play games. They charge you variation of price and charge you for differential of exchange rates in the development of the roads. These two are together, but we have seen payments being made on this, and it's not an easy fight to stop it. For example, when you pay a contractor 30% mobilization, it is expected that there is no inflation or variation that will affect this 30%. But that was not the practice. And so we have a president who is very fast at infrastructure development and who sees road development as an investment. Let me not fail to let you know that this administration inherited a total of 2,600 projects with a total cost of 13 trillion. And of course, you should understand the level we were before we floated the naira, and of course the fuel subsidy. And so you can imagine what inflation would have done. And so what we are doing is to select a number of projects in 2025 that are ongoing. We do not intend to start new projects. And so four projects are going to be selected very soon, and then put money that we see these projects completed and also commissioned. We have a number of infrastructure development programs. We have the PIDF, and this PIDF is the second Niger bridge with section 2A and B, and the second Niger bridge is completed. We are working on 2A and 2B, and when we finish it, when we told it, it's going to bring a lot of money to the federal government. We have the Abuja-Kano, which is 375 kilometers by 2. We inherited this project with about 52% completed. And so we had a couple of delays, but the job did not stop, because the contractors wanted a review from 799 million to 1.5 trillion. We rejected that, and we've been able to save 640 billion by way of review of the project. And then we disaggregate the project into 3 sections, leaving a section of 82 by 2 kilometers for Kilometer, and then doing 38 kilometers. We retired the first 38 kilometers starting from Abuja to Niger State because it has a high water table, and so we reviewed it and redesigned it on concrete. And so we are doing that on tax credits with Dangote and the high tech. And because of the nature of the soil, we have the Lagos Ibadan. We are completing it and we are tolling it. And we have also a number of roads that we have redesigned. For example, the East-West Road. The East-West Road was constructed by NDDC, but the past administration has to intervene because a number of the roads had failed. And let me start with Akwa Ibom to Cross River. We have 3 contractors there. We have the CCCC, we have the Julius Berger, we have the Sabatek. That's a local contractor. But as these roads were being built on asphalt, they were failing. So we had to redesign the roads. And what did we do? We had to look at the subsoil, strata. And so we dig 1 meter, we fill with lumps, with sharp sand and stone base, and we put 8 inches reinforced concrete. And that is what is ongoing right now within those 3 sections. And you come to Eleme to Bone Port. That section is 50 kilometers and it has the highest traffic in this country. And it was awarded to a company RCC for 156 billion. We edited that project. We looked at it. It was designed on just 2 layers of asphalt. There is no way it was going to carry the volume of traffic there. So we had to redesign the project. And what did we do? We designed it by taking a meter, filling it with lumps, filling it with sharp sand, filling it with stone base, and putting reinforced concrete pavement on top of it. And it's designed for 50 to 100 years. And that is what is ongoing. We also have projects that we inherited. Biniwari. You know the high water table Biniwari. We have the SKCC China company. We have the Levant. We have the Chaos. And so these projects were also designed on asphalt. And there is no way the road could be built on asphalt and it will last for 2 years. Let me digress a little and tell you a story. When I went to China, I saw beautiful roads in China. I didn't see when they were doing maintenance. And I asked the question, what's the trick? They say in China, if you build a road and the road fails and you're still alive, and it is investigated and there was any element of compromise, you will go to prison for life. You can ask any Chinese, they will tell you. And so, in our own development, we have 1 year liability period. 1 year in which after you have constructed a road, you have to maintain it. There is no badly constructed road that will not last for 1 year. And that's when people talk about FEMA. FEMA's budget is just 52 billion. It's less than 2 billion per state. And so there is no way 2 billion can maintain a badly constructed road. And that's why we asked the contractors, can you give us a commitment that we change the deferred liability period from 1 year to 5 years? And that was the fight. And so we are winning the fight because Mr. President is backing us. Don't forget that all through the years of Mr. President as governor, he built a number of roads in VI with concrete. You go there, you see the interlocking tiles. It's a form of concrete pavement, and that's still standing. So we have redesigned these projects on concrete pavement, and the people within these corridors are very happy with the ones we have done. You take, for example, the jump Sokoto to Zamfara, and down to Katsina, down to Kaduna. We also looked at it, and we saw that on a number of locations we have very high water table, and we have redesigned the project. If you go to Sokoto to Zamfara, you see a very beautiful job being done by CDC. But let me digress a little to talk about the legacy project of Mr. President. When we started the coastal highway, 700 kilometers, that is traversing Lagos, Ogun State, Ondo State, Edo State, Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River. People did not understand the merits of this project. People did not see this project as an investment. And so, today, the first section is going to be completed by May 29th. And we're going to toll it, and we're going to get back our money within 5 to 10 years. We have checked it. We also have added a number of land within the corridor, because we've seen that tolling of roads alone is not just going to give you return on investment immediately. So along these corridors, we are acquiring land where we use for tourism, where we use for factories, where we use for housing, and so on and so forth. And so the essence of this coastal route is that it's going to decongest the Apapa Wharf, where you have shallow shafts for the ships. Right now, we are doing transloading, and Nigeria is losing a lot of dollars on daily basis. Now, we have that deep sea port, and we are going to be taking a lot of, our clearing from that location. We are building the 7-axle route that is going to take off all the trucks from Dangote fertilizer refinery, the deep sea port, and then we now take it to Shagamu Benin route. From there, it will go to north, it will go to southwest, go to south, and southeast. And we have the Sokoto Badagry, and this is 1,000 kilometers. We have awarded sections 1 and 2, and along this corridor, you have over 63 dams. That's for irrigation, for agriculture. Within the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway, we have a lot of wind energy we are going to harvest, and so on and so forth. And so, let me conclude, because I want that Mr. President, when we came on board, we got out 330 roads and bridges that were in very serious danger. They say that the chain is, as strong as the weakest link. If you have a road that is so beautiful and then you have a cutoff, then the road is rendered useless. And so we had to earmark this 330 projects for a total of 300 billion under 2023 supplementary appropriation. Let me announce that over 85% of these projects are completed, and we have directed the directors of the various zones to go ahead and start commissioning from October 1st. And finally, let me assure that our road development is taking a different dimension under the support of Mr. President. And trust us, I want you, from October 2nd, we've agreed with the media that we are going to start the inspection of the road to see the improvement we have brought to our road sector. And it's going to be in 6 different regions. So the media will be divided into 6, and then we go with our directors. And lastly, let me announce that we have sent all our directors to the field for proper supervision. So have hope in this new hope administration, which are in there.